so much, Marina, again. And thank you, everyone, for coming to the third part of the webinar series. Today, we'll be talking about automation. In the previous two, we kind of ran out of time, and for the sake of time, I'm going to be moving kind of fast, a little faster today to just give us hopefully enough time to get through everything. So I'm going to jump right in. Again, my name is Josh, the creative director here at Fundraising Films, and we produce engaging tools for nonprofits to maximize their fundraising campaign donation results using exciting visuals that communicate your impact in powerful and unique ways. And we've been doing that for over 20 years, crafting content for both for-profit and nonprofits as far as India. And we put that experience and expertise into all of our Fundraising Films products, training, resources, and services. And again, just thank you so much to Marina and the Florida Association of Nonprofits and everybody here. I don't know if everyone here has been with us from the first webinar, but if you've come to all of them, we just thank you so much for, hanging in there with us and being with us on this webinar journey. And before we jump into it, I wanted to do a quick recap and keep in mind that these videos are available on YouTube under the webinar tab on YouTube. But in the first webinar, we talked about how you can enhance your Zoom meetings, how you can create content using editing software. And then we touched on some YouTube optimization. And again, that's in the first webinar video that's on the Fundraising Films YouTube channel. The next video and webinar that we did, we talked about using templates and a bunch of different template sources that you could find. And we also talked about how you could add video to your email. And then we kind of ran out of time on this particular one, but we wanted to dig into landing pages a little bit more. But we'll talk a little bit more about that, the landing pages and kind of where you can get that information later on in the webinar. Today, we're going to be talking about automation. And we'll be exploring automation for video, email, and social media. And the question is, why automate? Why are we looking to automate? And the reason we want to do it is because we want to set it and forget it. None of us have time to keep fiddling with these pieces. It also ensures that you can connect with your audience at the dates and times that are best for them, meaning that depending on who your audience is, they're going to be online at different times. And so you want to be able to schedule it when they're most likely to engage with that content. We also spoke about the charity funnel, and it's also important to automate these pieces of content all along this funnel. So you want to strategically place pieces of content all along here. But again, who has time to really sit there and just, every day, just continue to do this? We want to help you come up with a few tips that you can use to kind of automate this process so that you're not having to put pieces of content all along this funnel as you go through. And then previously, we also spoke about how content is king. And we also spoke about how you could take a webinar kind of like this, and you could create a bunch of smaller segments. So this is a 60-minute webinar. You could cut this into 15, 3-minute videos and then put those on YouTube. The problem is that you now have 15 videos that you have to put out. We're going to show you how you can kind of automate that process so that once you upload the 15 videos, that's it. You don't have to keep going on there to hit go. You do it one time. You upload all of the pieces, you schedule them, and then they'll go out when you have them scheduled for. So let's jump right in. The first section that we're going to go through is video automation. And with video automation, we're going to start with the Fundraising Films YouTube channel. So in your example, it would be your nonprofit's YouTube channel. And then up here at the upper right-hand corner, you will see that there is an upload or go live video. You're going to want to select the upload function up at the upper right-hand corner. Once you do that, you're going to see a screen here that tells you to drag and drop your footage. So if your footage is on your home page, you can, the home screen of your computer, you can simply drag it and drop it over here. And as soon as you do that, it will change the dialog box to the uploader. Now, there's a lot of information here, and in our more in-depth training course that we offer, we kind of go through each of these boxes, but for the sake of time in this webinar, we're going to focus on just the automation features. But there's a lot of things that you kind of need to fill in right here for your video, but we'll keep going. You want to hit the next button in the lower right-hand corner, and that will take you to the scheduling dialog box here. And right there under the publish settings, you'll see that it says schedule. So you can schedule when you want this video to go live. Once you select schedule, you'll see it brings up a date and time dialog box. So you can choose the date that you want this video to go live on YouTube. And then you can choose the time that you want it to go right there on YouTube. And then you want to make sure that you select local time so that it goes when whatever time zone you're in. So you just want to make sure that you select that so that it doesn't go on some arbitrary time. And then the last part here is, do you want to set it as a premiere? Or do you not want to set it as a premiere? And basically what a premiere does is it gives it a cool little animated intro before the actually actually starts. And it kind of gives your viewers something to watch right before it goes live. So I think it starts about a minute before it goes live. It has like this pre-roll and this cool animation and a countdown number box. So if you want that to happen, then you can put that. It makes it a little more special, but if you just want it to go live at the time or just, become visible at that time, you can uncheck that box. And then you simply go down to the bottom and hit schedule. And once you schedule it, you see the video is now scheduled. It says your video will be set to public on November 18th at 12 a.m. So I picked the time just so that it can happen in the middle when nobody's looking. It'll just go up. So if you had a number of pieces of content, like 15 different videos, you could do this for all of them. Just upload them and choose dates and times. And this will help you with automating that. You'll see that here on this next screen, you'll see that now in line with the rest of my videos, this one has a scheduled button over there to the right-hand side. So it shows that it's scheduled, and now it'll go by itself. I don't have to log back in. I don't have to come back here to see if it's gonna go. It'll go at the time that I chose. And so that's a really quick way that you can just automate video on YouTube so that you can choose when and how you want your videos to go out. So like I said, we're gonna keep going. I'm gonna answer questions towards the end. We're gonna jump right into the second demo, which is doing email automation. So now that we have our videos ready to go out, we're gonna figure out how to do this on email. And with email, we're gonna be using MailChimp today. A lot of these same things translate to platforms like Constant Contact, but we're gonna be using MailChimp today for this particular demo. And so here, this is the MailChimp homepage here. And over there to the left-hand side, you'll see a button that says campaigns. And so you'll want to click that campaigns button to get to your campaigns page. And here in the middle, you'll see all of your campaigns. You'll want to click the edit button to get to your campaigns. Now, I've already set up a number of campaigns here. This particular campaign up here at the top is just a demo campaign. So you would have to create a campaign and do all of those things to actually enter these functions. But once you have your campaign, you can click edit. That'll then take you to the campaign creation window here. And then up at the upper right-hand corner, you'll want to, there's a number of options here, which is finish later, schedule, and send. And so we're going to schedule it to help us with automating this campaign to go out, whenever we choose. So once we go there, it gives us the ability, and this is what I think MailChimp is really powerful in the way that it allows you to schedule. And it's a little different, but it's really a powerful feature, and you might miss it. But you have two options here in this dialog box, which is the first one. It says you choose your date, and then you can choose the time, send time optimization, or you can set a specific time or date. The send time optimization option is awesome because what MailChimp does is it figures out when your audience is interacting with your emails most frequently. So it doesn't just choose an arbitrary day or time, it chooses the time that it has, like the algorithms or the AI has, seen that your people are interacting with your email. So it's an optimized time for when you have the best open rates for your emails. That's a really powerful thing because then you can be sure that your email is going to reach your group at the best time or date. Sometimes that's not possible. So sometimes you just have to choose a date and time just because of how your campaign is being rolled out. You have that option there too. But if you don't know what day and time is best, MailChimp has a feature here that will figure that out for you. And that's really powerful so that you can increase those open rates for your emails getting seen. And so once you select that, it says rock on, your Supercharge fundraising campaign is set. It chose that date and time for me. I didn't have to figure it out, and it chose that date and time based on when my audience most interacts with the email. So it chose that date and time for me. And so then once I do that, I can go back to my campaign view and I can click on the view here, which is the list view or the calendar view. And then once I click on the calendar view, it gives me a nifty calendar that I can use within MailChimp to see when all of my different emails are going to be going out. And this is also really powerful so that I can move and schedule my email campaigns in the way that is best, for the campaign goals that I have. So if you want to dig in a little bit deeper, you can go back to the previous screen and you can go to the little tab that says automation. Now, once you click the automation button, it takes you to this automation dialog box. And up here, you have the choice of the customer journey or classic automations. This is going to be followed through and explored much more deeply in our training course that we're releasing today. Or releasing pre-sales for today. So within the context of the time, we can't go into this type of automation stuff, but these are some really, really powerful automation tools that you can use and that we'll be covering in our course. The customer journey is really powerful because you can schedule if and then statements for how you want your customers to interact with your emails over a customer journey. So that goes back to our funnel that I showed earlier. You can use that funnel as part of the customer journey and schedule your email automations in line with that funnel. And that makes it very, very, very powerful. And then your classic automations, it's more so a bit more manual, but it's also equally as powerful. So that's our email automations. Then the last demo that we'll be covering today are our social media automations. So, we're going to be focusing today on Facebook. All of the social media platforms have certain forms of this automation. And again, we'll look more deeply into those other platforms in our training course that we'll be offering. So we'll jump into this demo here. Here again is the Fundraising Films Facebook page. And over on the left-hand corner, you want to click on Publishing Tools. Recently, Facebook went through a really big update, so they kind of changed everything. They're always changing everything, so you always have to know like where things are. It's not so much about it being hard, they're just always moving things. So over there to the left, you'll see Publishing Tools, and then that takes you to all of your posts here, where you can create your post, where you can schedule your post. And then up there at the upper left-hand corner, you hit Create Post. Once you hit there, it takes you to the next box. The one thing to note here is that if you're using video, by default, it automatically checks Instagram. So if you have your Facebook and your Instagram connected, it automatically connects, defaults to posting to both at the same time. The problem with that is that Instagram doesn't work with YouTube clips from Facebook. So you'll have to uncheck that box if you want to use your YouTube links as video links in Facebook. So we're gonna uncheck that box. And once you uncheck that box, you see the video pops right in. So all you have to do is just drop in the YouTube link and then your video will pop right in. And once you do that, you click on the publish button, but not the publish, the little drop down right beside publish. And that will allow you to schedule your post. So now you can schedule it for whenever it makes the most sense for your campaign. We've looked at the videos, we've looked at the email, and we've looked at the social media posts. And so you'll want to make sure that these dates and times kind of match up, of course, so that when you're posting things to these various platforms, that if you schedule your YouTube video to go on a day that's after your email goes, then you're going to have problems because people won't be able to see the video in your email. So you just want to make sure that all of these dates and times kind of line up from platform to platform. Once you hit schedule, it takes you to this next page, and you'll notice that it's probably going to say you have no scheduled posts. But down in the lower left-hand corner, it has this little tiny dialog box, and it says it will take a few minutes to schedule this post. You can confirm it was successfully scheduled by checking the post tabs. So you'll have to refresh the page. Depending on what your post is, depending on your network connection, this can take a little bit of time. So you might want to log back in, give it about 15 minutes, take a look to see if that post in fact is there. In my experience, they all go. It just takes time for them to show for some reason. So you just have to log back in. If you want to get a lot more dynamic with your social media post, there is a awesome platform called Hootsuite that offers some really, really intensive social media automation. The best thing about Hootsuite is that if you have LinkedIn, if you have Facebook, if you have Instagram, if you have any of the other platforms, Hootsuite allows you to make one post and it will automatically push it to all of those platforms at the same time. So instead of having to log in to each one to do this, you just do the automation one time in Hootsuite and it will automatically put it to all of those places at one time. This is also another thing that we're going to cover in much more detail in our training course that I'm going to be talking about here in just a little bit. But those are the automation features, kind of going through some of that automating so that you don't have to take up all of your days just going in and posting all day. If you kind of do this with your campaigns, you should be able to just take a little bit of time to choose your dates and times to post your content, and then go ahead and focus on other things and just let the content run in the background so that you don't have to, keep checking on it, keep wondering it. You'll get the notification on your phone, and it's a really good feeling to just have that stuff automatically happening in the background when you see it. So at this point, does anybody have any questions? No, it's a lot. No questions. All right. Well, I will continue to push on. And
I have a question.
Sure.
It took me a while to turn my mute button off.
Oh, okay.
On Hootsuite, how much does that Hootsuite cost, and is it worth it do they have a free version, and do they give a discount to nonprofits?
I don't know if they give a nonprofit discount. I don't know that they have a trial where you can use it for, I think, 30-day trial to kind of see how you like it before you have to commit. And then after that, it is $29 per month. It only really makes sense if you have social media accounts. I would probably say more than 3. If you only have 2, it's a bit of a pain, but it's manageable. It's when you start to have 3 or more that it starts to become a pain to have to just log. Even just remembering your login for all of those platforms is a pain. So for 2, I wouldn't say it's worth it. But if you have 3 or more, some people have 5, 6, accounts. So if you have that many, Hootsuite is a definite time saver, because you just create one post and then it puts it out. And not only, the cool thing about it is not only does it put it out, but each one of those platforms has a different standard as far as the size and how it's put, and it automatically does all that for you.
That's the other question I was going to ask.
Yeah.
What about the formatting?
Yeah. It automatically formats it for you. And so that's another big time saver. Because like you said, on Instagram, the box is different than it is on Facebook, and on LinkedIn, it's different, but it doesn't matter. You have one picture, like let's say you're posting a picture, it automatically formats it across all of those platforms for you with one click, which is awesome. So yeah, and like I said, we'll cover that a little bit more to show you kind of how that works in the course.
And I had another question on MailChimp. It's a free service if you have so many under so many emails, right?
Correct.
And then do you prefer one product over another? Do you use MailChimp, or do you use
I've used both over the probably past 7 years, and just consistently I've enjoyed the user experience for MailChimp a little bit better. Um, the one thing I think that I like about MailChimp over the other, like Constant Contact, for example, is um, I like their designs on their templates. They have some really good templates, and their designs are just, they're like baked in templates are I think a little bit nicer. I find that the user interface for the way my brain works, it seems to work a little bit more. It's a little more intuitive for the way my brain works. But as far as which one is, better, or I think they're the same. There's going to be just some features and some preferences that you kind of have to try both out to just see which one kind of works with you. They're both equally as powerful, and they're both awesome platforms. I don't think one is better than the other. I think it just depends on the kind of way you like to work and the features that are most important to you. MailChimp offers the free account based on how big your list is and how many lists you have. So the free account only allows you to have one list at a time. So if you need multiple audience lists, then they make you pay for it. But if you just want one list with, I think, under 500 people, it's free. I think it's 500. It may be bigger than that, but yeah, I enjoy it.
1,000.
Okay, yeah, maybe it's 1,000. Yeah. So it's, I enjoy it. It's and they've improved on it quite heavily. Those automation features, that those more advanced automation features, they are quite powerful. And I can't stress, I mean, you can get very, 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 very specific on how you want your emails to go out in a very interesting and new way, especially when we're talking about automation. Meaning, if somebody interacts with an email of yours in a certain way, it can trigger another action for another email to come out based on the way that they've interacted with that first email. And that's really, really powerful. So like if and then statements, if the person does this, then do that. If they do this, then do that. It's almost like a decision tree. It's really, really, really interesting.
Okay. Thank you very much for explaining that.
Absolutely. Any other questions? All right, we'll keep moving on. So, as I mentioned, with automation, there's so much more that you can explore on all of these topics. And I think over the last few weeks within this webinar series, we've done high level explorations and demos into this, but we've been working on and have created a training course that I want to talk to you about, where in this training course, we'll take a deeper dive into the all of these topics to help you with getting your campaigns, squared away. And so today we are opening up our pre-sale for our training courses, which will be open to all of the webinar attendees. The Supercharge Fundraising Online Course Membership provides your nonprofit with an access to comprehensive suite of campaign creation, training, videos, and tools each month for 12 months to help you create exciting and awesome fundraising campaigns from start to finish on all of your mobile, tablet, and desktop devices. So each month you'll get a comprehensive, in-depth training content to help you take the guesswork out of your campaign, your fundraising campaign. And within the first 30 days, you'll know the basics of running a good online campaign. But of course, over the course of the 12-month subscription, you'll become the master at doing your online fundraising campaign. So again, they'll be available on any mobile device. And, we're going to have a number of things that the course is going to be comprised of, which is number one, a brand assessment. So we'll be offering a free brand assessment that comes with it so that we can take a look at where your brand is doing really well and maybe where your nonprofit brand could do a little bit better. And then we can help, cater the course towards some of those things that you may want us to, kind of talk about in the course. It's going to come with campaign video templates. So nonprofit centric templates that you'll be able to use for your campaigns. It'll also be the online training courses. So these video courses that will guide you step by step through, creating a campaign, kind of like these webinars, but, much more in depth, because we'll have a little bit more time than the time we have in webinars. An online content planner. So if you need a guide to help you with, planning out your content, when do you put it up? How do you layer it and how do you plan it? We'll provide you with that. And then these monthly webinars. So you'll be able to come to these monthly webinars as well. We're going to be doing that right now for an introductory one-time price of $298 for the entire year of benefits and training courses. It's a 12-month membership, like I mentioned, but for the current time being, we're going to drop that price in half to $149 for the year-long membership. And if you would like to take advantage of it, you can go and also enter in a promo code presale 20 to get an extra month free off of the training course. And you can do that today. It's available for purchase today on fundraisingfilms.org. You can go there, and definitely you don't want to miss out on this sale. Anybody who does this within the next few days, who signs up will also be entered in for a raffle that we will be offering for an phone stabilizer. So if you want to kind of give your, if you want to give your video that you'll be shooting for your campaign that kind of professional edge instead of like holding it like this, if you want to not hold your phone like this and put it on a stabilizer, this is a really powerful tool to kind of give your, your video that professional edge. And that's what I have for today. Is there any questions that I can answer about the course or about our automation features for today?
When does the course start?
The course starts on December 15th.
Okay.
And so
it's approximately the 15th of every month?
No. So every week you'll be receiving additional content every week. So it starts on the 15th, and then every single week from there on, you'll receive new videos that take you through the campaign, creation process. Our goal is for the first 30 days of being a member, we want to teach you how to create a fundraising campaign from start to finish so that you have the basics. And then month 2 through the remaining year, you'll get more in-depth, training, on how to make that happen. But because, within the constraints of a webinar, we only have, an hour. So, but here we'll be able to take our time. Also, the cool thing is that it won't just be myself. We'll have other guests that will come in and offer these course trainings as well. So we have, my team member, Ryan, he is the creative director for country music television. He'll go through teaching about color theory. He'll go through on teaching you graphic design tips and tricks.
Really?
So it'll be a whole group. My film guy, George, you know George. George shot your promo, Marina. George will go on there and show you camera techniques and how to create content with your phone. So it'll be a whole group of us for the entire year where you'll hear from each expert in their respective discipline that'll kind of guide you through the tips and tricks, and it'll come to you every week. I think we're scheduled for every week, Thursday at 3 p.m. So videos drop every Thursday at 3 p.m. for members. So yeah, you'll get a ton.
Sounds very interesting. Something that we all have to learn to survive in today's new Zoom economy.
Absolutely. I think the other thing that I guess makes our training course a little bit different than some of the ones that I've seen, we're going to be looking for feedback so that we can kind of cater it a little bit more to the people who are viewing. Yeah. And also too, it's nonprofit centric. So it's not, some of the other ones are for-profit businesses, but we kind of want to focus on the plight of the nonprofit, and especially like you said during Zoom time, we want to kind of make it easy to do with your phone, with your computer, with your iPad. Something that's really easy to do.
We're all going to sign up, right? I'm signing up for sure.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, thank you so much.